Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday. Um, I'm a little bit late getting this out to you guys tonight because I had a pretty busy day. Got a lot of things done school wise, and then went out fishing this afternoon. Got a little bit of sun on my face, as you can see. Um, I'm going to read to you guys this afternoon, and I want to let you know I have two special guests in the audience this afternoon. Here they are. There's Winston, and there's Sadie. Hi, Sadie. Here she comes. Oh, hello, girl. Hello. Are you? Oh, hello, Winston. So, I'm going to read two chapters to you this afternoon just because they're shorter chapters. And here we go. This one is called Ray, Operation Iceberg. April 1st, 1945. Private Ray Majors took a nervous peek over the side of the boat, carrying him and his squad across the choppy waves towards Okinawa. Through the salty sea spray, he saw every American ship in the bay, more than 1,000 of them, shooting their guns at the island. Battleships, destroyers, cruisers, and overhead, wave after wave of planes flew over the island, dropping agony and death from above, all to protect the sitting duck GIs and Marines like Ray in their little boats. One of the battleship's big guns was so loud and so close that the boom rattled Ray's stomach. This was it, the real deal, the invasion of Okinawa. What the brass called Operation Iceberg, even though an iceberg wouldn't have survived 10 seconds in the blazing heat. It was Ray's first battle of the war, and it was a big one. It was all Ray could do not to pee his green pants, but he was almost relieved to finally be going into battle. For weeks, he and 200 other Marines had been holed up with 20 Sherman tanks in the dark belly of a rolling, creaking ship as Japanese suicide bombers came dropping out of the sky at them. As far as Ray was concerned, being trapped like a rat in the bottom of a ship was 10 times worse than being on deck and watching the kamikazes come in. But then, at last, had come H hour, 8:30 a.m., April 1st, Easter Sunday, 1945, codenamed Love Day, the day that Ray and the other 183,000 American soldiers and Marines of the 10th Army finally boarded amphibious troop carriers and headed east toward the beaches of Okinawa. The fact that Love Day was also April Fool's Day had not been lost on a single one of them. When he had enlisted in the Marines a few months ago, Ray had never thought he'd end up on a boat 400 miles from Japan. He thought he'd be sent to Europe to fight Hitler and the Nazis. But Allied forces had just freed France and crossed the Rhine River into Germany, and the end of the war in Europe was near. Everybody could sense it. But the war against Japan was far from over. Almost 4 years ago, the Japanese had sneak attacked Pearl Harbor as a U.S. naval base in the Hawaiian Islands. Ray, and I have to turn the page, 1 second. Ray remembered exactly where he was when he had heard the news. Sitting in a soda shop with Tibby Lundgren, her blonde hair shining in the bright afternoon sun, their first date, his first date ever with anyone. The music on the radio had come to a sudden stop, and a reporter had read the shocking news. Battleships sunk, airplanes burning on the runway, almost 2,500 Americans dead, and 1,000 more wounded. Ray understood that life as he knew it, the farm, high school, Tibby Lundgren, all of it was over. A day later, President Roosevelt declared war against Japan, and Ray ran away from home to join the Marines. They wouldn't take him, though. They made him wait until he was 18. Ray shifted uncomfortably on the metal bench, remembering the belt whipping his father had given him when he had slunk back home. The acrid, sickly sweet smell of someone vomiting in the boat brought Ray back to the here and now. The rocking of the boat made Ray feel sick, too, and he went through the equipment in his pack to distract himself. A flashlight, pistol, canteen, first aid kit, extra cartridges for his M1 rifle, the Marine issue entrenching tool, which as far as Ray could tell, was just a shovel with a fancy name. And then there were the grenades. 2 of them, cast iron. Each one was about the size of a pear, but round in the middle and tapered at the top and the bottom. The raised squares on them made them look like pineapples. Each was painted a drab olive green, the Army's favorite color, and had a bright yellow collar around the neck. To activate the grenade, you gripped the gray handle on the side and pulled a big wire ring attached to the pin. The grenade activated when you let go of the handle, igniting the fuse. Then you had just 4 or maybe 5 seconds before it went boom. In another pocket, Ray found the brochure Naval Command had given him and all the other Marines to explain the difference between Okinawans and Japanese. Apparently there was a difference. The brochure said the Okinawans were generally smaller and were simple, polite, law-abiding, and peaceful. If they could help it, the Marines were supposed to pass Okinawan civilians on to the shelters being set up for their relief by the military government. But the brochure also warned that the Marines might get a chilly reception from the Okinawans. All they know about America, they got from Tokyo propaganda, it said. So you can expect them to look at you as though you were the cross between Dracula and Frankenstein's monster. Well, at first anyways. The handout included some Japanese phrases to help draw the Okinawans from hiding, and Ray had been practicing them in the dark cold of the ship for the past 2 weeks. Okay, so I was practicing my Japanese language here, and I know I'm not going to do well at this, but bear with me. The first word is de-tai-ko-i. De-tai-ko-i. He sounded out now. Come out. Hei doi kota washi masen. You will not be hurt. Forget all that stuff, said Corporal John Barbarossa, who sat across from Ray. Big John, as everyone called him, was an enormous guy from the Bronx, New York, who had probably been shaving since he was 5. Ray, with his close-cropped sandy brown hair, short legs, and round freckled face, looked young enough to be Big John's son, even though Big John couldn't have been more than 5 years older than him. Big John was one of the few members of the 1st Marines to survive the division's last battle in the Philippines. He was also Ray's designated foxhole buddy. A Jap's a Jap, Majors, Big John told him. You want my advice? Shoot them before they shoot you. That's how you survive. Your last name is Majors? Asked their squad leader, Sergeant Walter Meredith. The sergeant was tall and lean and tan, and had been with the 1st Marines even longer than Big John had. The kid needs a nickname pronto. The enemy hears us calling him Majors, they'll think we're talking to a real Marine major and throw everything they've got at him. Ray felt the blood drain from his face. How was that fair? He hadn't picked his last name. Hey, where you from, kid? Another Marine asked. Norfolk, Nebraska, Ray replied. Ah, a Cornhusker then, eh? No, baby-faced kid looks like he's 13. Shorty, somebody else suggested. Well, let's wait to see if the kid survives the beach landing, Big John said. Then we can worry about a nickname for him. That shut everybody up. They started thinking again about what was coming when they hit the beaches. They say it'll be even worse than Peleliu, and we got holy crap kicked out of us there. I hear the Japs are waiting for us from behind a 10-foot concrete wall with machine guns every 6 feet. I bet 80% of us won't make it off the beaches. Ray's arms and legs felt weak, shaky, like at the end of a day working hard on the farm when he had skipped lunch. Sergeant Meredith patted him on the knee. Don't worry, kid. Just keep your head down and move as fast as you can. Ray nodded anxiously, and his oversized helmet slid down over his eyes. The boat's motor shifted down, and they could all hear it and feel it. They were slowing to run up onto the beach. No, I'm not ready, Ray thought. I'm not ready. I'm not. All right, Marines, Sergeant Meredith yelled. This is it. Stay low, don't bunch up, and run like the devil's chasing you. The boat lurched to a stop, and suddenly the ramp at the front dropped into the water with a splash. Ray grabbed his rifle and ran like the devil was chasing him. And you know what? We'll stop it there for now. That's actually, I'm almost to 11 minutes. So that should be enough for one night. Hopefully you're having a great day. It was a beautiful day outside today, huh? Guys, I tell you what, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you're thinking of the story so far, or just let me know what's going on in your day-to-day lives, huh? We'll talk with you soon, and stay tuned for the next chapter tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.